stuff, something that you wish you would have captured more of, or had more time or resources, or you just had some constraint. You're like, this is not going to make it, but maybe in the next one, maybe we can do something with it.
I think that the constraint of, early production was still under the constraints of pandemic travel restrictions and, that landscape. And so, we didn't have the latitude that you would be afforded today in covering this story. So I think that as a result of that, would have been interesting to see what choices we could make beyond some of the more targeted decisions that we made as a production team. I think that while it absolutely comes through in the movie, that the level of success that people have seen as a result of these investments, I think that it would have been fun to have just been able to have played more in that space in any investment decisions that people were making that had an impact on opportunity as opposed to opulence, right? Like we see Lambo investing, but are we seeing people who could buy a small business cash and therefore leverage the kind of, complete future financial freedom outside of the time lock that could be afforded? Like those kinds of things would have been interesting, but they're also very difficult to discover. And I'm not sure that they're entirely a true reflection of the choices that people are making. Like, I think that, one of the things that I think maybe is, a reality, albeit one that maybe disappoints me because I'm not a crypto maximalist, is that I'm not sure how many people are taking wild crypto gains and reinvesting them in more secure traditional financial models in order to create a landscape that removes the volatility. Right. Like, and so, that's maybe the space that is, I'm just bringing my personal lens into, unquestionably, right. That like, just, that's where my headspace goes around this or whatever. And I do wonder if that, that's part of the reason that this movie excites me, is because if there's someone out there that isn't awakened to it because they come from the traditional financial space, but they can be awakened to it enough that they're like, hold on, like, I don't have to just YOLO every investment that I'm making in the cryptocurrency space. How can I become involved in a way that leverages what I'm doing over here, and that I can cross-pollinate these two paths? And as a result of it, I can see some outrageous gains, but I'm not subject to the violent swings that come as a result of that. And what kind of financial independence can I create for myself, my family, multi-generational? And then how do I leverage that to do good in the world? Like, how do I really not just turn this into Lambos? How do I turn this into, true community impact? Yeah, anyway, that's the kind of thinking that really gets me going, is how can all of these pre-existing communities become aware of this other one in the same way? Let me ask you this, Max, are you embracing AI? Like, is AI a part now of any workflow in your entire life?
I actually used it this morning. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So like, but are you an AI maximalist? You know what I mean? Like, you're having a conversation with a human right now. If you were an AI maximalist, you wouldn't be, right? Like, I'd be an avatar. And, so to me, it's the cross-pollination in the leverage of these tools that really get exciting around this, as opposed to it just being like tunnel vision, blinders on. I'm only going to live in this lane and in this world. And so, like, I get really excited about all the ways that AI can cross-pollinate all of these different industries and tasks and challenges that people face or whatever. And I guess I apply that same lens to cryptocurrencies. It's like, in what way can that also be just a tool, and it doesn't have to be an entirely singular island and ecosystem?
Yeah, I've talked about this before. That's the hardest thing for people outside of crypto, no coiners or otherwise. The biggest barrier to getting in is everyone just thinks it's gambling. Oh, that's just the stuff that you take your throwaway money and put it in, and you're probably going to lose it. Like getting over that barrier with products such as HEX and PulseChain and stuff, especially real world products. That's what's been so attractive, and the message that our community has tried to send is, hey, this is not going to guarantee you get you rich, but at least you get a fair shot at it. There's no all the rug pull, opposite of rug pull or the magic carpet ride, like all that stuff. That's what I want, at least. Like that's what draws me and keeps me in this community so much, is I have a fair shot. I don't have a guarantee, but I have a fair shot at doing it. And I think that's all we can ask for. But it's so hard to get people to see that, because most of crypto is failing over the last 2 years. All the stuff that people actually communicate with, all the centralized stuff, all the bankruptcies, and all, they see that, and then they see everything else. They just see it go down 90%, and they just think it's all gambling. But there are some pockets of some good stuff as we're aware of.